Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent. Excuse me. I move to suspend the rules and pass H.R. 586.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 586, a bill to preserve the use and access of pack and saddle stock animals on public lands, including wilderness areas, national monuments, and other specifically designated areas administered by the National Park Service, the Bureau of Land Management, the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, or the Forest Service, where there is a historical tradition of such use and for other purposes.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from California, Mr. Radanovich, and the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Kind, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask unanimous consent that all members may be given 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material on the bill under consideration.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
I yield myself as much time as I may consume. Madam Speaker, I'm the author of H.R. 586, which is identical to the legislation that passed the House of Representatives in the 108th Congress. This bill would preserve the use and access of pack and saddle stock animals on our public lands where there is a historic, traditional use. Perhaps no other activity is more synonymous with the exploration of our vast open lands than that of the use of pack and saddle stock. Who could forget those images of President Teddy Roosevelt and John Muir on horseback at what was to become the Grand Canyon and Yosemite National Parks? While some may claim that this bill singles out pack and saddle use and affords it greater consideration than other forms of recreation or commercial use, I would argue that the pack and saddle use has played a fair and greater historical role on our public lands, particularly in our western states, than simply recreation. What may be perceived by some today as recreation was once a vital part of everyday living throughout our nation's history. In addition, this bill in no way diminishes the Secretary of the Interior's ability to implement emergency closures or permanent reductions in the use and access of these pack and stock animals after complying with the full public review process required under the National Environmental Policy Act. H.R. 586 codifies our commitment to access and to preserving one of the most fundamental and truly historic ways to experience our public lands. I urge its adoption, and I reserve the balance of my time.